Yeah.
All Atlanta. All Atlanta. All Atlanta.
I walk KK, I talk KK. I'ma shoot the dice, but you can get your back fade. I'm brown, high fly, they're high cool. I philosophize to fly with a high IQ. Bless me high chew, still keep it too. They wanna do, still fucking fire do. Full tray all day, put on parlay, I'm original A. Hey, shout it. This native dialect, that's just some shit that we say. I'm always on this.
Say. Welcome to the Real Atlanta Podcast tonight. It's Sunday, so you know we back in effect, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, tonight we got two West Side partners in here. We're going to talk about some old Atlanta stuff and stuff that's going on in the community. We got my man, ATL Julio, on here to my left, and we got Simpson Road, Bojack. Hey, look, I want to get their government out. They go by their government now. What going on, fellas, man?
What's happening?
That's good. Yeah, man, we want to talk about some stuff that, you know, I guess we'll start with the community stuff, man, because, like, these guys have been an anchor in the community, like, for, like, when y'all started coaching, bro? Like, what, 99, 2000?
Somewhere.
Right.
How old my kid is?
Well, my kid 31, so
you 6.
yeah. About 25 years they've been coaching, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and they've been appealing the community for I guess 25 years now. You know what I'm saying? So, got these boys, they coach a lot of cats that grew up to be some okay cats in the community. They got some cats that went on to play professional ball. What, NBA and NFL, a couple of NFL too, yeah. And they still involved with some kids now who grown. You got some kids who you still deal with now, don't you?
For sure.
Yeah.
I still deal with now. One play with the Houston Rockets, Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
I still kind of like talking, interact with a lot of the kids, like a couple of kids that played off the first team that you mentioned.
Yeah.
One was Steven Nelson.
Right.
He just retired from the NFL. The other was the running back, Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, Kenyon retired too.
Yeah, Kenyon just retired. So, you know, it's really been a long time.
Right, it's been a long time. And they don't play it every time, you know what I'm saying? Sure. What about Jordan? With Jordan, did he make it? He made it somewhere.
Jordan made it to the NBA. He was a first round draft pick by the Memphis Grizzlies. He got drafted 22 in the NBA draft for sure.
And we even got like.
And Jordan's still playing too. He's playing overseas.
Okay. Even like little Aaron was on the team. Your son, he made the college and he started. He coaching. He was coaching at the college level and he coaching at school, high school now, right?
Yep, he was coached at USC. Did his grad at USC. Coached 2 years, and now he defensive coordinator at Carlton. And he coached at Toledo too. So he left USC and went to Toledo for a year.
Right. So we got a few of them that did a few things. I believe that's it's still going on, I guess. What, the Little League, is it still going on? I mean, I done got kind of out the niche.
So I had a team a couple of years ago, right? I went back and got me a team.
Right. I remember you doing that.
Yep. It's still going on.
Yeah.
I think parents' expectations are different now.
For real, yeah.
You know, people looking at NFL
at
5.
So they think they're going to make NFL at 5.
Yeah, they're going to make it at 5.
They don't know how lucky that is, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make it to the NFL. I mean, it's like hitting the lottery. Shit.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. Then with the NIL, they want the money.
Oh, yeah. The NIL has really changed it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they made some new beasts.
Yeah.
That's all they think about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Times that changed a whole lot.
Yeah, because they think about that money first. They thinking about, boy, get my son to college and he gonna get that money. Because I know a few cats still, they going to college. They getting that money, but, you know, I know it's stipulations to what they got to do, but, boy, it's crazy. Because, boy, at the draft, all them cats were laced.
But guess what's so crazy, not to cut you short? Mm-hmm. I think it was NIL back then.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Who was paying all these parents back then? I guess we can, you know what I mean, right? Buying them cars, paying bills.
Hey, that was NIL that year.
Yeah, back then, I guess.
You know, back in them days, it wasn't paying them. You call yourself, like you say, helping the community. The less fortunate, you know. During those days, God had blessed me, so let me be a blessing to somebody else.
Hey, look, man. But look, or they had that whip stick out there now. You know what I'm saying? So you had to have, I guess back then it was a competition, like, cause like Adamville and then, well, Oakland City was Kennedy at first.
Yeah.
Adamville and Kennedy were going at it every year. You know what I'm saying?
Kennedy, where we got our start. And
Kennedy.
It kind of like, it was me and Bo, like you said, we from Simpson, you know what I'm saying? And the west side is kind of like near and dear to both our hearts.
For
so
sure.
we you know, we wanted to kind of like have an outlet for kids that might go the wrong route or detour towards, you know, a lot of different things. So, you know, that's what kind of like led to the formation of putting the teams together. And then, you know, like a lot of people don't know, like when we started, like, you know, the city of Atlanta didn't give us nothing. You know what I'm saying? We paid for everything out of our own pocket, from uniforms to equipment. You know what I'm saying? I bought a 15-passenger van to pick them up. And, you know what I'm saying, like, it's everything they had. You know what I mean? The games and traveling and, you know, like the barbecue, everything. You know, that was fully sponsored by us.
Right,
so,
right.
But it wasn't a thing because, you know what I'm saying, like, them our kids. Like, we look at these are our kids.
For sure.
So whatever we can do to kind of like help our babies, then, you know, I do it 10 times over again.
Yeah, man. I mean, cause it was cool because, but them boys were fresh to death out there, boy. It looked good, like Brian said, you look good, you play good, they pay good. So, you know, Hulu was paying good, so they look good. But them boys were winning games, though, man. It was good, though. It was something to look forward to. Like, even like when my kid played, they played like football, then they ended up playing basketball, then so that thing, you know, football season be back again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something to do every day. You know what I'm saying? To keep them out of trouble as well. You know what I'm saying?
Engaged.
Yeah, kept them engaged, man. You know what I'm saying? And it just like, you don't see like the new stuff that's going on. We don't see it no more. We don't see it. You know, like, I guess because we older now, but man, it was something to do. Like every Saturday, like even at your birthday, Bo, in Miami, it was some parents from way back then was down. You know what I'm saying? They were still around. You know what I'm saying?
You don't hang at the park all day.
Yeah.
When you go to the park, you be there all day, and then the kids always had like a avenue, and you know it's like I did a TED talk before, and I spoke on it then. You know, I was saying about like, you know, Shirley Franklin, she really kind of like really like threw all the kids away in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like she was the mayor at that time that she closed all the city of Atlanta parks and recreation, and I think they shut almost like everyone down throughout the whole city. And the reason for them doing that, because they took the money that was used to like for programming for like youth, athletic, sports, senior citizens, and they allocated it towards building green spaces throughout the city. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't got nothing to do with us. That's the people that want to walk their dogs. Yeah. You know, get all on up in Buckhead on them trail, and you know they reallocated all that money towards that. And then if you look, and I'm 100%, I ain't gonna say 100, but really sure, if you go back statistically and look at the crime rate when they closed those centers, recreation centers throughout the city, that's when you seen juvenile violence spike in the city of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That's when you had the stuff over there in Mechanicsville with the old boy with the smash and grabs going in the store. Then it led to this and that. Then, you know, we start having the influx of gangs. All this because the people that kind of like had their grips on the kids, you know what I'm saying, you remove them out of the equation. You know what I mean? You know, every park around the city used to have like people that coached them and dealt with the kid. Most of them were convicted felons. Right. But who's better to kind of like guide a kid than somebody that's been through it and on the right path? They removed all them. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why they're saying it, but still, though, it's like these the people that these kids gonna respect. Right. These the ones they gonna listen to. That we say all the time. You can't bring a man from somewhere that don't know about this side or this area over here and thinking these kids gonna, you know what I mean, show you any type of anything. So, you know, I think during that era, you know what I'm saying, it's just been a downward spiral since then, and you know, we've yet to recover. Yeah, because like you said, at one time, I remember back when they was checking everybody to make sure they wasn't no felon to be, they couldn't coach they was a felon. You know what I'm saying? That helped. That was you saying, part you was saying they was taking them away and closing the park down. Like she just closed stuff down. Like they really had somewhere to be. It was a structure though. Parks, swimming pools, everything. They closed everything in the city of Atlanta down. You know what I'm saying? Like we had one of the most booming recreation departments in in the United States. For real, that thing was booming all parts. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and it was. She sacrificed our kids for, you know what I'm saying, a personal agenda of other things.
That's wild. Let me ask you a question. Do you do you from that time when you had the Parks and Recreations to, are you still coaching now? I'm sorry, I didn't.
I run a youth basketball program, a AAU team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do nothing too much in the city
Mm-hmm.
no more. But the team I have now, we kind of like all our tournaments. We just travel and play.
What are some of the a couple of problems that you noticed with the kids from then till now? Because I know that the dynamics have changed with your children, and I know that they have a little bit more influence. And if you guys can speak on that, because a lot of times we have conversations down here on this show, and we try to figure out, you know, what's going on with the youth. What can we do to reach them? What is the issue that you know, a problem that we need to solve to help them stay out the streets and not do all this stuff that we see that the news claims that they're doing? Because it could be over exaggerated sometimes too.
Right.
What is it? Because you guys are out there with the kids, you talking to them, you dealing with them, you on a day-to-day basis. So what do you notice some of the things that are causing them, or may not be causing them, but maybe some issues that they may need to be addressed?
I think when you say like from then to now, I think that one of the biggest pitfalls that's happened with kids today is the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's it kind of like it turned a lot of things like differently. So, you know, like back in before, you know what I mean, like if kids had a conflict, you know what I mean, like, you know, on our side they would fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they would fight, and after they fight, you know what I mean, they back being friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now, you know, like kids can't stand to lose a fight. They get on the internet, they antagonize each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to post the videos, the pictures, and say all type of stuff. And then next thing you know, it goes here and there. Everybody now, you know what I mean, the kid that it happened to, he's so mad that he's getting embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There got to be some retaliation, you know what I mean, towards
Mm-hmm.
that. So, and it's just like, I think it's just gone wild now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know one show we had that Chris was talking about, and he was saying that a lot of these football, you know, youth football and basketballs, it wasn't a lot of fathers there. It was just mostly mothers.
So it's so crazy you say that. So once I got out my situation, I know we had the team back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an absentee of fathers then.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest shift I noticed is the absentee of fathers are still there.
Mm-hmm.
But the only difference is, you know, like what I noticed with my teams in the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got these moms smoking weed with their kids now. So that's where it shifted.
Oh wow!
So now if you got a team of 25 kids, you know, where you had the daddies on the sideline and hanging. So the moms was at practice, but they was the moms at practice.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have noticed now, the moms at practice all on smoking weed.
Mm.
So now kids coming to practice, you know what I mean, spending like 2 pounds of weed.
Mm.
So that's the biggest shift. That's why you see so many young kids now, right? They doing vapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I seen little 13-year-old kids smoking vape.
Mm.
Talking about this what I do.
Mm.
Right? But they parents, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you parents and you just smoking weed around your kids all day, they're gonna pick their habit.
They're gonna pick it up.
So that's going on in the parks heavy. Your dads are not there. And if you got some dads involved, they coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't got coaching, too many dads not there. But the moms influencing their kids, you know, they putting, and then you as a parent, I'm letting my kid go ride home with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So she got 3-4 kids in the car. She dropping them off and spend the night, but she's smoking weed like it's cigarettes.
Mm.
Right.
Wow.
You know,
They
so
geeked up on
they
them
thinking
things.
this level. So why you thinking so many kids now? Like I'm still on Simpson, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't left it. You know, and I'm seeing the change, the shift, and you know, I'm seeing them now at 8, 9, 10 smoking weed.
Oh wow.
For sure.
They
for
buying
sure.
the little wraps out the store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You be like, wow. You know what I mean? And they tell you I'm under pressure. I got pressure going on. Nigga, what kind of pressure you got going on at 10, 11?
But they don't understand them vapes ain't good for you at all. One of my little cuz, he got heart issues from the vapes. You know what I'm saying? Them vapes ain't good for nobody. He just hit that vape. Don't care how old you.
I don't even know how they can smoke weed and do vapes and play football at the same time. To me, that seems counterproductive. But you know,
It's killing the high schools.
It killing
Like
high
it's
schools.
killing the high. These little boys, they got a problem because all these little kids getting high on the football team.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I think what we can't curve it. They got to see men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think we was moving around. We had uncles and cousins did drugs, but I tell you, they pride didn't let them do it in front of us.
Most
Right.
definitely.
You know what I
Right,
mean? They
right.
gonna go somebody's house and do it, but
Mhm.
they ain't gonna too much just get high in front of you.
That's
Right,
true.
Right.
So I think all that's
That
changed.
probably, that probably stopped a lot of them boys' career. I mean, hell, I know it stopped my kills. You know what I'm saying? He started smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? He so smoking weed every day. That's to bring it on down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he might could have made it in the NFL or made it to the, you know what I'm saying, another level. I mean, college I know for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, it's just crazy how it is. They get influenced quickly, but you know what I'm saying. But now, like who was just saying, the internet is really it's not confined there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I've been noticing? Like when I was on my top end of Simpson, and I'm at the bottom in the playoffs in the same neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them kids don't have internet over there.
Oh, for real.
That's what I'm surprised at. You know, they parents don't. You know, they ain't like I thought it was natural. You know, my kids hearing them and out there. Everybody got internet fiber.
Okay. So we can segue to what you're saying now, because you got the center going down on Simpson now. What's it called?
Grandma's house.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
grandma's house.
when I was looking at your live yesterday, I know what you were saying there's a part in there where they got some computer stuff at. So you were saying it's not a lot of people don't have no Wi-Fi over that way, huh?
They don't. So we want to open it. We got a computer center. So we're gonna do just computer knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of youth don't have access to computers, and older age people don't know how to use computers.
Right, for sure.
Right, so we stuck. So we want to faxes, computers. You know, just get them up. We got to do the basics, getting us up to speed with the new technology.
Yeah,
and we lacking in our community. We think, we thinking like we assuming like, oh, they know how to do this. They don't.
Right.
You know, they ain't got places to go submit job resumes. You know, bill resumes. You know, we got to start with the basics of the foundations. You know, because a lot of those most of them ain't got GEDs. So we need GED programs. You know, if you want to help a man, you show a man how to eat.
Right, that's true. That's for sure.
You know, that's what's gonna help him grow, because then he gonna become mature.
Right.
Because he gonna be responsible, and people gonna start to depend on him. And once you depend on him, you become a man. Then,
right.
Yeah.
Then you start questioning the decisions you're making, because now people depending on you.
That's most
So
definitely.
I think we got to go back to the core.
Yeah.
Like he said, I can agree with the Shirley Franklin, because they punished our communities.
Yeah.
They closed Allison Park down. We used to hang at Allison Park.
Right.
Right, when all else failed, all else was at the recreation center.
Yeah, all that failed. That's right.
We don't have a recreation center. We don't have nowhere. And you know, the recreation center bring the resources.
Yeah.
People job opportunity, job fairs.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff. That's what the community center brings.
That's supposed to be for.
Then you blend with the seniors. So now you know the seniors. So now you don't want to be disrespectful. You know Miss such and such or Mr. such and such. So you think about going to shoot somebody kid, because you know them. You kind of feel attachment.
Right.
So I think we got to get back to the core of who we are.
Yeah, the core of black people for sure, because like that's the only thing on help get us back together. I mean, my mom always preaching unity, but that's part of the unity. You know what I'm saying? Like with the community center and stuff like that. I remember just being like, when we was younger, we had that. So we had that. The community center we could go to, like you said, had the park, and they shut it down. Like, I mean, I don't know if they trying to get stuff back going now, but I don't really see it though. Because I don't really know what parks are playing or having any kind of programs. I mean, I know Adderville may be, but it's at one time they had to go through what the city, not to mean the city, the county or something. They want food and county or something. When she cut out, I mean, you had to stop coaching. Yeah. Who you with, bro?
The Georgia Rattlers.
Okay.
When I came back, so my first step was I didn't get into coaching.
Yeah.
I was training.
Yeah.
So because when I got out my situation, and I was sitting down thinking about, like situations.
Right.
And I started to realize, damn, most of these kids we don't coach. They older now.
Yeah.
So, I was getting the stories, I was talking to people. They were saying, this kid got killed. This kid in prison. I'm like, damn, we don't tore up cars from 5 to 12, and then we threw them to the wolves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need us from 12 to 18. So when I came home, I started training older kids, like from 8th graders to 12th graders. Because, you start, life start changing on you. Start
Sure
feeling
will.
yourself,
Mhm.
liking women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Want
got a
money?
lot bigger.
Want money?
Your voice don't got a little deeper.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Nigga, you
yeah.
feel like nigga can't tell me nothing no more.
Right.
But they need us. They need us. So I was doing the older kids, you know. So I went back to the youth,
Mm.
and we need it. You know, we don't need to throw them away.
Yeah.
And you know, we men now. So a man can humble his pride for resources. Like if you didn't go far, you shouldn't be ashamed to open up avenues to help kids go farther.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
push the doors for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we lacking.
Do
It
you-
got missing.
Do you think the youth now, because we talk about how we used to be in youth, and I'm from Chicago, but I still had recreation centers. We mostly went to the YMCA in Chicago when I was there. Just go there for $1 a day. You know, we didn't have to have a membership. But do you think the kids now, because you have a generation that didn't have the opportunity to go to the rec centers and hang out and understand that culture, so you skipped a generation, now you're trying to get this new generation to go, and they feel like it's lame because the other generation didn't go. How do you get that mindset to change? Because they don't want to go to the recreation center now. They don't want to hang out there because they feel like it may be lame. Nobody want to hang out there all day. We want to do this, we want to do that. So it becomes a tug of war of cool and safe. You get what I'm saying? Like it's safer over here if you hang out over here, but it's not cool if I do that.
I think on that question, I think the city is doing a really good job right
Mhm.
now. You know, I think Mayor Dickens is
Mhm.
doing a really, really good job. Is putting energy back in the city. And what I mean by that, I think it was at one period what Shirley Franklin did. So what happened is people took their private teams. People like us, we got our team. We start our own little league,
Mhm.
and we play in counties. So we started taking inner city kids from the recreation, and we were taking them to other counties playing.
Mhm.
I think they're doing a good job on trying to build a recreation centers back up, bringing kids back. More parks and teams are like the city parks and programs are growing again.
Mhm.
You know, because now you hear people talking about, I can play in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put my team in the city. At first, they got away from the city.
And to piggyback on what he was saying, I think that they should have more things where they can make some money. Kids want to make money, so if they had, like, you know, back in the day they had they were working for the what's the name that they was working for, like when you was a lifeguard and all that stuff.
They still got that summer program.
Oh, some program,
They
yeah.
They got that summer program.
Right. I was
It
figuring like,
just these parents not engaged enough. Like
Yeah.
these parents are too lazy to go to those programs and take their kids to start to push, because the parents not involved.
right.
You know, if you smoking weed all night and drinking all night and your life a party,
Right.
you know that shit drains you in the morning.
That's true.
Man, go do that shit on your own. You gonna start making excuses that affect your kids.
Mhm.
I guess that's why a lot of them out there being water boys. I mean, nothing wrong with the water boy, but they just have stuff a different way they be doing. So I guess they run out that way and try to make money. But you like them them some programs. I mean, to attract them, they need some kind of way to make some money. Not even that program, some kind of way they can get some jobs somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I believe that they ought to just have some local job, like local business, like some Subways or something like that. Some other companies coming in, the city to, you know, mix in with them so they can have some better opportunities for the kids. That's what I think. But you know, like you said, it starts at the house. So if the parents is not trying to influence or try to get them to do nothing better, they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna find a way. And that's how most of them start, you know, getting locked up and doing other stuff.
Do they even have you know, I'm old, I'm 54. Do they even have work release, like not work release, but like when you at school, you get a credit for going to work, like in that, like they used to have that when I was younger.
Yeah.
You would go, you would
You're
go,
a senior.
yeah, like
Yeah,
you're a
this
senior.
program's still in place.
Oh, okay.
It's still in place. We just ain't taking advantage of them.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
know, it's the parents. You know, we lost the age group.
That's
And
true.
just the be realization of it. You know, they want to talk what we lost.
Mhm.
We lost it.
Mm.
You know, if you check communities, it was lost. Crack lost it.
Mm.
Just think, our parents' age was the crack.
Right.
Our kids, we was the kids that had to raise the houses.
Right.
So we became responsible too fast in our life.
That's true.
And things got neglected.
That's true.
So and now we catching up with a neglected. I mean, now
And
at this
yeah,
point, we've
yeah.
been responsible so long. They like, man, I'm trying to live my life.
Right, right.
You know, man, I ain't trying to raise nobody kids no more.
Yeah,
Shit, what the fuck I'm gonna be? Me, who I am.
I did that. I
I
did
mean,
that.
raising all these people children.
Right, right.
So, you know,
But that's how we had it in our neighborhood. If y'all think back, you know, Miss Ann or whoever in your neighborhood, you know who gonna check you if you're doing something wrong on your block. That's just how it went. I mean, so I guess we have to follow in their footsteps and say, you know, if I was doing something wrong or whatever, I could have 4 or 5 different mamas on the block that's gonna check me and call my mama and tell her when I get home she gonna check me too. That kind of community and that kind of neighborhood just doesn't exist anymore. I don't think because a lot of people don't even want you talking to their
Yeah,
children.
they don't want you to say that too.
Ain't no discipline.
That happened, you know, that was me. I was that kid.
Mhm.
The neighbor whooped me.
Mhm.
The lady down the street whooped me.
Mhm.
They tell my grandma she make me go pick my own switches.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a few of them, she tied them up like a
Right,
braid.
right,
You know,
right.
to make one switch.
Right,
And,
right.
you know what I mean? And that's I think, you know, like, man, I used to wake up whips and stuff,
Right,
legs,
right.
you know what I'm saying? And then I think about it, I was getting child abuse.
Right,
But,
right.
nah,
But
you
at
know,
the
like,
same time, it taught you so much respect.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, respect
you wouldn't
and
cuss in front
discipline.
of those people. You wouldn't do nothing disrespectful because not that you would want that you don't want to hurt your mama feeling, but you don't want to hurt the block's feeling, just about the community's feeling, because they all, you know, they all took care of you. You know, that's just the way it was.
I was telling my kids, and this was recently, like in the last couple of weeks, I told them that I'm 50 years old right now, and to this day, I've never cussed in front of my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I've never
right,
said
right.
a cuss word in front of her.
Right,
At 50.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I-
It's different, man. It's
Yeah,
different.
you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
Respect
it's-
different.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that's, you know what I mean, like if you have respect, you know what I'm saying, that carries you a long way in a lot of different avenues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and then, but you know, you gotta, you know, a lot of people want respect, but they don't want to give it. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a major thing. You know, because I'm big on respect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna be the nicest person in the world to you,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get disrespectful, you're gonna have to be ready to go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna go all the way there.
Right.
Like, we're gonna see if you really want to get how you saying you want to get. So
Mhm.
that's why I try to keep myself out of situations and, you know what I mean, away from things that I know would take me to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that was the thing you was talking about respect for. See, I frown upon that when they tell a kid they grown, they can curse in front of them. But no, that
They
ain't
ain't doing
they ain't going. Yeah.
Watch it. I just told my nephew the other day not to cut you short.
Yeah.
We were talking. He at Arkansas State. I'm like, man, well, he just man, the motherfuckers. And I said, man, what's your problem? I said, you think you just can cuss in front of me? Now?
Right.
No, we ain't doing this. I said, I'm sorry. I said, we ain't doing this.
Right.
This what we ain't doing.
Right.
I said, well, you don't talk like that in front of me.
And then to go back to that right there, to go back to like when them kids were younger, you know, Julio and Bowden were able to discipline them kids,
Yep.
and they respected it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey, we ain't about no child abuse and all that, now. They disciplined them boys respected their coach.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Because they
To this
wanted to
day.
be on that field. They wanted to play.
Yeah,
And
they
when you
respect it. They look up to
threaten
their
to take
coach,
away that
man.
play, that changed
I
their whole
don't think it
attitude.
was about the play. What I realized, it was about the love we gave them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, we ain't just play. We bought them shoes.
Mhm.
We took them places.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We treat them like our kids.
Hey man, I remember them boys. You be staying at y'all house, and boy, they all at y'all houses before the game. Like you know, after practice Friday, they'll go to the coach house. Julio have a lot of them. You got a lot of them over there at your house. You know what I'm saying? That was something they felt good. Us camaraderie they had. You know what I'm saying? And them cat, and like my cat was telling me, like he see cats who we played 6-0 with. You know what I'm saying? He see them around now. They still know each other.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They went all way different. They different ways.
They lifetime friends.
Yeah, they lifetime
Every
friends.
still got lifetime friends. I had a kid, me and who had a team, and heard you to say, Bo, this a little kid over here you need to get. So I started picking the little kid up. Now, this in the early 2000s. He 4 years old. Because they used to say, this little nigga run the streets 12-1 at night.
Oh wow.
I'm like, oh, ain't nobody, ain't no kid running the streets late night like that.
Yeah.
So we were practicing at Washington Park at this time when they was at the Kennedy at the cinema. So I'm gonna go up there. I pull up that one night, about 12. Get what? Lo and behold, I see the kid pop out the house. Hearing when he going from house to house. I'm like, shit, they serious. So I asked the little kid, I take him to practice, and then I asked him, Was you at late night? Coach, that wasn't me. Coach, that wasn't me. But you know that's the type we were dealing with. From there, I used to keep the kid year round.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't even send him home. You know what I mean? He stayed with Avery year round.
Mm-hmm.
From January to January,
Mm-hmm.
we kept him. You know what I mean? To this day, he's still. You know what I mean? He like a. You think him and Avery brothers? You know, so it's a lot of them situations where they just need, and the mamas and the other brothers love and respect and support us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's a lot of that going on. But back in our era, right, we was dealing with crack.
Mm-hmm.
Crack cocaine was big back then.
Mm-hmm.
They're not crack babies no more.
Mm-mm.
Like the crack not there.
Right.
You know, these young kids, they on weed and just don't give a fuck.
That's it. That last sentence.
Yeah,
right
that's what they on. You know, it ain't, you know, we understood, you know, you got kids who mama or dad are just, they was on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. And it's like you said, there ain't no crack baby.
You know, they ain't crack babies
I remember
no
the
more.
teacher was telling us when we was in high school, she's like, y'all think it bad now with them crack babies. And the crack baby was like the ones who probably like, what they are, probably like 20, 22, 25, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, or wherever they were, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, ain't no more crack baby really
Ain't no more
coming
crack
up like
babies.
that,
Them
yeah.
niggas don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You be like, man, you gonna, I can't make this up, right? I've been seeing some crazy stories. I think it don't get no worse. I'm sitting out the other day, you know, remodeling the building.
Right.
So little girls out there trying to fight. So I come out taking some trash to the trash. But it wasn't just they were trying to fight. The mamas was out there fighting too, and the daddy. You know, so you trying to talk to them, the little girl was so disrespectful and so out of line.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wow.
you know, that's what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing
And
with.
that right there is what caused a lot of people to wash their hands out of the whole situation.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people just say, you know what? I'm trying to help these kids, but they don't respect me. They,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They cussing me out every time I turn around. And dad's trying to jump on me. And a lot of people will wash their hands of the situation and leave them to the wolves. You get what I'm saying? Because of that stress, like, I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with this kind of disrespect and people talking to me and trying to threaten me. So good, you go ahead and you have it. Because there's a lot of people who want to help, but just don't know, just don't want to step into that mud and get drugged down with that drama and disrespect.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because some of them, like, if they ain't get paid, especially if they get paid for, like, they kind of volunteer. Like, they say they using their own money to support the team, so they volunteering to do that. They definitely ain't going for that when they volunteering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To do something. So
And you know, like it was a different time then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it
And
was.
not only was it a different time then, you got to think, you know, when you talk about back in that era, like me and Bo was who we was too.
right,
so you know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
it wasn't nobody we ain't never had to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? If we did, it was gonna be some
problems.
slap them up, slap them around, and the
Right.
parents know, hey,
Right.
they in good hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that wasn't never, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never get that aspect of it. 'Cause I never, I don't know if you remember, but you know, cause the way I used to do out there, I used to mess the kids up. You know, like you gonna be respectful, you gonna be a young man. You know what I'm saying? But it was all love when we left practice. So I had a assistant coach at the time, and you know, he started doing the same thing I was doing. You remember hit little tape. Hit little so I had a little quarterback, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
He roughed my little quarterback up, this and that. So I'm sitting there on the field, and I you know, we sitting up practicing. As I'm sitting up practicing, I see some guys from the bluff, you know what I mean? So I see some sitting in the parking lot at the end of the field. So I'm like, okay, they coming to pick shot up, pool, no thing. I see some more guys from the bluff come to the side of the field over there. So now I'm looking like, why all them up here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I see some more, you know, I'm with the boy Daddy, you know, walking down on the field, like, you know what I'm saying? They coming like they finna come down there to the stand on the field. I said, y'all get their practice. I walk over there. Hey, look, not up here. Not finna happen. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, Julio, this and that. But I break it down. Bro, listen, you know I ain't finna let that happen to your son. He was out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's gonna happen to him. Get them on about y'all business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You doing that one up here.
I remember the boy because and that's crazy. But tell you like, well, I remember I'm gonna get my dad to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I remember that jump as well. That's crazy though, but that's real crazy because, like you said, like you able to, like you said, they respected, so they able to stop the situation because that shit could have went real south. You know what I'm saying?
It could have went. Ain't no telling where it could have went because like not too long after that, the same father that we talking about, getting locked up for murder.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying? And his son speaking to his sister, so he don't get that shit. Well, I know the shit that went down. That shit was crazy what went down that situation. But yeah, it like for real, like if you had respect around the kid, like I was just saying earlier, the kid looked up to him, so it was like it was a proud thing to go. They didn't want to miss practice. Them kids didn't want to miss no practice. Cause they want to get in the game. They want to play. You know what I'm saying? They want to be around. They want to be around their little friends and all that. You know what I'm saying? I remember time, but we didn't leave the field by. After practice, we the practice might leave, like daylight saving time. What the practice may end up
cutting the lights on.
Cutting the lights on the car. We out there, man. Look, man, that was a Friday. And we out there, we kicking the whole night. Them children playing third top and everything.
But we were young too.
Yeah,
We
were young. We were about 25.
Yeah, we were young.
Yeah.
Big difference.
We were good. We were trying to kick it.
We at 9 o'clock, niggas sleeping now. Time to go.
I gotta get a nap.
Right. Got to get a nap.
Body don't even move the same no more.
Man. Well, yeah, like, but I'm saying though, it was like we kicked it though. We kicked it out of the kids, like you know what I'm saying. Now you remember faces like when I was at your birthday party. Like, dang, I remember them ladies. I remember them faces. You know, it's plenty of women because there wasn't no dads up there. Like you said, wasn't too many dads up there.
So that's kind of the basis on why we doing Grandmama's house.
Right.
Because I feel like we need that big mama back.
Right.
Like we need that real grandmama back. Well, you know what I mean? Like love didn't have no area code. In your house was open. You know, like all our grandmamas, you know, first of all, we didn't grow up as friends. We grew up as cousins, brothers.
Right.
You know, so they door were open. You know, if you're going through problems or got situations, you know, like Hulu was saying, we had to deal with everybody. You know, it was love warming grandmama house. You know, we knew we had the we got to sneak by that person. You know, we doing wrong. They pop at the stove. We bounce behind the stove. Like, you know, now we out here doing all the illegal. We see one of them, we hiding.
Right. They hide with the police.
We studying the police. We not fear for them. You know, we were afraid for the seniors.
She was the worst. Man. My grandma had a pickup truck. She been that corner in that pickup like Medea.
She come around and try to find you.
But you need that. You need that.
And another thing that, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of like at the time I didn't realize it, but you know now because I'm a very spiritual man, is that she made me go to church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying, regardless of what happened, like. She snatched me out that bed, you know what I'm saying? And she kind of like instilled the word in the Bible into me. And you know what I mean? Like as I got older, it kind of like, it carried on, you know what I mean, with me. And you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm a real God-fearing man to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that comes, you know.
Well, it'll never leave you, know what they say. They say you put it in your being you like that forever. I know, look, I seen Bo though yesterday do it live. But I swear he was on the pulpit, boy. He was going at it, boy. I said, but that chain, hey, my man, he done got chained. They call him Deacon now.
No, I ain't done yet. And that nigga still like in me. He 50-50. He ain't gone yet. Yeah, but we was all covered with grace.
Right.
You know, we come from praying families. And that's what I'm noticing now. The youth, they ain't raised in church, right? So they ain't got no form of God in them, you know. So they new parents, they don't care. Like they ain't made to go. Well, you going to vacation Bible school?
Well,
you know what I mean? Are you going to Sunday school? You ain't going to church, but you're going to Sunday school.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It calms your soul and your spirits. Right. You know what I mean? I think it make you think like God don't want us to go pull that trigger so fast and just get so easily angered.
Mm.
You know, these little boys, because they don't have people to look up to. One thing I do, I'm noticing, they respect you if you carry yourself like a man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If you don't show no fear, they're going to respect you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we just got to put things in place to kind of
Oh yeah.
save them. You know, we're not going to save them all, but
Can't say them all. but
it's
that's-
time to start fighting like hell to save them.
Right.
You know, it's time for us to put our pride down and
Mm-hmm.
you know try to help us, because a couple of these kids don't got killed, and I beat myself saying, what more can I do? I feel bad because I should have been doing more.
Mm.
You know, I feel like I'm on the bench watching these kids, people I know, family members, relatives, friends, kids getting killed, and I'm like, I'm on the bench. I'm one of those. I'm guilty.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm
Yeah,
guilty
yeah,
because
yeah.
I've been turning that head the other way.
Mhm.
You know, you hearing kids doing stuff, you hearing it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's people, family, friends, and we just turning our heads. You know what I mean? Like we don't hear it. We got to do more.
Mhm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We paid this life to be able to help them. We went through what we went through to help them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That they ain't got to go through it. You know, so if I got to take my time to mentor some kids,
Mhm.
if I got to take my time to bring some people in to mentor some kids, and not just mentor them, they need to consistently mentor them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know,
So I want not the one time.
not
thing.
no, cause I want that nigga. This nigga talking to me one time. Fuck you, man.
Right.
Right.
This nigga don't feel me. This
Right.
nigga gonna leave me, get in this car and go home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to face reality. He gonna get in his car, go home, and he still gotta bring his kids not to play with me
Mm.
because they're ashamed of us.
Right.
And you know, don't go around them niggas. Them niggas bad.
Yeah.
You know, them niggas doing X, Y, Z. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we missing now. That I'm older, I see we
Yeah, you
missing.
see that because like you were saying, like with that, and then the fact that like it's easier for them to just drop out.
It is.
They just drop out. Like you see a bus, it got 7 children on one bus.
You'll see.
I mean, you like God, no.
Yeah, where the kids at?
What the kids at? You know what I'm
Where the
saying?
kids at?
I mean, you used to be mad when when you ride behind the bus trying to go to school, but when you try to go to work or so, like, but them buses ain't got nothing going on.
Mm.
I promise y'all this. Our thing is in Atlanta, we do the high school reunions, right?
Mhm.
You know, everybody look for their high school picnic day.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the big thing. In this new generation, these niggas ain't got elementary school picnic days because they ain't even made it to the high school.
School, they went to
Mm.
school.
It's a wave on them dropped out of elementary school now.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So they ain't even got no high schools to, you know what I mean, to go to the do their
Mhm.
picnic at.
Oh, the city cut that out too, though. I just heard that
Mhm.
too. They
Yeah,
cut it out.
Permits, so they don't let you get permits.
Yeah, you can't do the can't do the
Picnics.
high school things, especially not on the school campus either. You know how you doing like on Doug and at Harvard doing it. No, they ain't letting you do that. They ain't letting you get a permit for that no more. So they cut the days out. You know what I'm saying? That was what we're looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? They cut it out like you saying. The other kids that he made to high school.
Y'all got to think what I've been noticing. We got people running our city ain't from our city.
See,
They
that's
don't
what it
care.
is. That's what it is.
You know,
Yeah.
if Kendrick Lamar said they not like us,
Right.
they not like us. They come in there, they ashamed of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And now these people that's running our state, a lot of them they don't came and made one from our state.
Mm.
So they don't shift at our culture. And we sitting back watching it and allowing it. So,
And that's true. With me coming from Chicago, I notice how you guys have Bankhead Day or South Fulton Day or
Right.
Old Nat Day and stuff like that. Now that's something we didn't do in Chicago.
right.
But that's just something I notice how y'all have those things. And then when you have people like say me, if I'm in city government, I'll be like, nobody needs to do that. That's too much traffic, too much police force, too much
Right.
this and that. So you are right. People who come from other areas who don't understand the culture of Atlanta
Right.
are going to try to change it. And that's when you need to have more people from Atlanta try to run for these offices and win. But it's just so much money to try to even run for election nowadays. It's a hard thing to do. But I 100% agree with you that when people don't understand the culture, they do everything they can to change it. And I don't even think it's on purpose. They just don't understand it. So
Yep.
they don't get it.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, we don't have no high school days in Chicago where we go on the field and hang out and picnic. That's just not something we do.
Right. Like you said, different cultures, so you know what I'm saying, like it's stuff done changed, so it like they ain't caring nothing about that, but you know, so one thing about like the grandma house, that's something deep, but I'm definitely I'm with you on that, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Come down and be with
We
you,
need
man.
support, you
Yeah.
know, sponsors and just new information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's open for everybody. You know, we not afraid to partner.
Mhm.
Right.
We all can coexist.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
You know, to help better, you know, better the community plus that side of town. You know, who better than us?
Right.
Right.
You know, we didn't go to traditional routes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Tradition, we kind of jumped out the track. You know what I mean? Stayed out the track.
Right.
But we figured out how to be adults. But you know, we blemished our name. You know, we had to fight to you know what I mean, get our name back. Back credible.
I mean, that's a great thing you're doing though, for real though. And you said somebody gave you the idea. You thought of the idea of somebody else. Cause I see you naming different parts of it out of different people in the community or something.
Yeah. So I named the rooms after strong grandmamas.
Mm.
Right.
You know, impactful ladies who impact that community.
Mhm.
Not ladies who was in the community, those who impacted the community.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And so that's how we named the rooms. We're just gonna keep pushing the counter. Now we need to bring programming
Mhm.
and consistency.
Mhm.
You know, and that's how I started. I didn't start that way, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Right. This been a crazy journey. I can't even explain. I'd be lying to y'all.
Right.
Like I be feeling like sometimes something be talking to me lately.
Mhm.
And I be like, Lord. So a couple years ago, I just started saying I'm not gonna fight it. You know, the churching. First I was fighting it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm not fighting it no more. I'm just taking steps. You know, if I just what I got to do, I just take steps. Some be fighting it. It been talking. Some be talking.
Hey, what they say, like the devil, they ain't
That's the
no
devil.
one
That's the
thing.
devil saying you don't need to do all that.
It's been on my conscience, and then some be pushing me. I'm just taking steps.
Mhm.
You know, I'm just being guided. You know, I ain't had no vision. If I can tell you I was gonna do this 6 months ago, I'd be lying.
Right.
If I can tell you it was 12 months ago, I'll be lying.
Mhm.
So, but I can tell you my love for that community and that side of town been there my whole life.
Mhm.
Like even with me coaching, I will only coach on that side of town.
Oh, okay.
I'm not coaching in now another county,
Right.
in now another district,
Mhm.
in now another city. I'm only gonna coach on the west side.
Right.
Right. My pride not gonna even let me leave. And let me clarify this for these people that don't know it.
Right.
I'm only gonna coach somewhere connected to Simpson or Bankhead, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to Campbell Road to coach. That's no knock. I got friends over there. I love them to death.
Right.
Like I'm not going to South Florida County to coach. I'm not going to by Mechanicsville to coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to Kirkwood to coach.
Mhm.
I don't give a. My heart only gonna allow me to coach. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what my heart at. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I can't. You know, I can't go nowhere else to kind of help other kids. You can bring them from them places to me, but
right.
I'm not. My face is not gonna be associated to a part on this side of town, right, coaching. My spirit's not gonna let me do it right.
But the kids on that side of town might need your type of coaching.
They not gonna get it.
Hey, look, they used to ship them around, so you know what I'm saying. They come to that side. I feel what he's saying though.
Right.
Because I feel like
I
you
understand
got
what
to
he's
start
saying.
at home.
Yeah.
So that's just me. I'm messed up in that part. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I'm mentally disturbed. That you know,
Mhm.
like I'm loyal to that. Because that's who we are, man. Like man, we done walked the streets our whole life, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like we still, you know, because like I was telling them yesterday, the problem we have when we take our kids away from now, our kids grow up, they try to mingle back to that because they be like, my daddy from that side of town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or my uncle from that side of town.
Yeah.
Or my grandmama lived on that side of town.
Right.
So you might have a cousin who you look up hanging with people on that side of town.
For sure.
Repping that side of town. You be like, nigga, you ain't never from over here.
Right.
Nigga, you ain't never dealt with no crackhead ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't never been around pimps and niggas who rob, nigga.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? A nigga will trick you before you think you gonna trick. But they gonna mingle to that side of town, and you know what I mean. It's something about it, you know, just something about that west side of Atlanta.
Mhm.
It's something about it. I can't explain it. You know, it's just something. You know what I mean? Like we was Nigga, where you from? I'm from the west side. Nigga be like, oh man, I can't trust him, man.
It was crazy.
Them niggas ain't right. You know what I mean? Like, them niggas ain't right. I can't trust them.
Hey man, look, and then they would have the females thinking you can't trust them.
Yeah.
So better than nigga from the west side. Now don't do that. Don't do that. You know the dude west side. They try not to let you come over to the west side, do the west side. But look, that's what they want to do. They gonna come over anyway. They trying to get out that way.
Yeah, well, man.
So,
Yeah.
So we roll different. We got to get back to the core of, but we were all family on the west side.
Yeah.
From ML King to
Yeah.
Bankhead to Simpson to
Yeah.
Harris Home to
Yeah.
Dixie Hill, cause we all was raised together.
Mm.
For real.
Right, we was raised in these wrecks.
Mhm.
We
Right.
was raised in these like we had when I was growing up. Right, we had every elementary school had a basketball court outside on.
Mhm.
Right, so niggas was at the basketball courts.
Yeah.
We used to play football in the cemetery at Lincoln. You know, they had a grass strip. You know what I mean? Like, but people from other sides, and then we was in the communities.
Mhm.
Perry Home had teams. Anderson Park, Grove Park,
Yeah.
Bankhead. We knew each other.
Mm.
Like, it was familiarity.
Right.
So we were gone. We talk a little shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get good competitive, but we'll fight you.
Mm.
You mess with them, you mess with us.
That's right.
They took that away, man. These kids now, these niggas, like, they like a job. I had my little team, right? And I used to tell them, I had a little thing I was doing different. I start on time, right? But through my practices, I gave breaks. So I started to realize these kids are so serious all the time, they never get a chance to be a kid. They at school, they can't talk.
Mm.
Right? When they get to practice, they can't talk. You know what I mean? So they don't get a chance to be a kid.
Right.
They don't get a chance to know each other. Like, these kids, it's some youth kids now on teams that don't even fucking know each other.
Right.
It's such a fucking job. These coaches think that shit cool. I got a nigga coming from what's the name? They nigga come in like they been goddamn, like they own the contract, practice, and go home.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, we were building relationships. Nigga walk to practice.
Right.
We had to walk through the wood, walk up the street, stop at the corner store. You know what I mean? Scrape up pennies.
Right.
You know, because they were pennies. We be eating penny cookies,
Mhm.
penny big pop. You know what I mean? We walked. They took all that away.
Yeah.
So these kids don't know how to be like. I look at these little niggas in my neighborhood. These niggas ain't even athletic.
Right.
Right? These little niggas don't even play fucking sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't got time to smoke a blunt if you at the practice or you doing some. They don't even. I'm like, I asked the niggas. I say none of y'all niggas athletic. You know what I mean? They want to rap and they can't even rap.
That's yeah.
So they, you know, they took that away from our kids. You know,
Yeah.
you knew where we gonna be at. We gonna be on them fields. So we ain't had time to worry about nigga was hustling.
Yeah.
You know, you nigga stealing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nigga breaking in the song.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you did that shit back then, you was an outcast.
Yeah.
Be like, they go that old thieving ass nigga.
That's true.
Why that old thieving ass nigga at the gym today?
You gotta watch it, but
Everybody get your stuff.
Yeah.
You know
You know,
Yeah.
y'all be at the swimming pool, that old thieving ass nigga. Y'all go get your stuff.
You know he's still.
Yeah, we know he still.
Right.
Cause he ain't like us. He ain't trying to be involved with the team stuff and enjoy it. So that's where it changed. We gotta get back to, you know what I mean, getting back to the core of who we are.
Yeah. More of a family community, more of an understanding that, you know, us together are stronger. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know, it might be your child, but your child might influence my child. So I need to make sure your child is good so my child can be good.
Exactly.
And I don't think people understand that. They don't understand that concept of when you're in this community and we're all in here together, we all don't have nothing. We all
Right.
broke. So ain't nobody better than the other one. You might have 2 more pork chops than me, but we all broke at the end of the day. So what can we do to make sure this community is safe and to make sure our kids can go to school and come home without any issues? And I don't think a lot of people think about that kind of stuff. Our parents and grandparents thought about that. I'm quite sure that's why you couldn't walk down the block and say nothing smart without getting in trouble. By the time you got home, your grandma would be like, or your mama would be like, what you say down at the corner? Like, that was like 10 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Right. But that's not the kind of community we have now. And we got to figure out how to get back to it because we can't lose our children. When we losing them slowly, we don't see it, but we are losing them slowly.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Big time.
And we lose them to the point to where the media paints them as as demons, and then you get people, want to shoot before they even talk to them now,
Right.
or they want to arrest them because somebody said they did something, and now the image is, oh well, if they said they did it, because look at all this. So we got to figure out a way to keep them from being the demons and figure out a way to get them to do other things that are more conducive to what they like to do. And that's why I say I don't know what they like to do. I don't know if anybody has even figured that part out yet.
I heard a guy saying that the other day, and he was saying how APS took police out the schools, right, and they came with their own little security system.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't thinking about the big picture of it. The bigger picture was when you had those officers in the schools, they knew the kids in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about that last
So
week.
when they knew when these kids in the street doing wrong, you got a relationship with this kid now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make them stand. I ain't got to shoot you now because I know this kid. They took him out the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Cause bad kids, we were bad kids. I mean,
Right.
we were bad kids. So they knew you.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't. So now you don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the core. They took him out the school. Then that APS security. These Atlanta niggas need Atlanta police.
Piggybacking out what he said about the police knew you. I never forget. I was going to Turner High, so like when you leave Turner High and you beat us, what I mean, it was customary. We were gonna rock your bus.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna throw rocks all that. You know what I mean? Like try to bust everyone now. So we played a team. As they were pulling off, everybody waiting in the little woods and the bushes, tagging that bus, tearing it up. And then it was a detective, detective McWhirter. I still remember him. So McWhirter, he ended up catching me. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, he was in the school, and he didn't take me to the juvenile. He took me home and told my grandmother what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish he would have took me to juvenile.
That's what we talking about.
Right.
You scared to go home. You rather go to jail than
Right.
go home. You
Right.
don't want to get that beating. That's for real though. That's crazy because like you said, we were just talking about that last week that the kid don't have no like the relationship with the police. Like, you know what I'm saying? You may say he might know you. Like you said, he know you. So like the same thing they did with Julio, took him home instead of taking him to juvenile.
Yeah.
And that was either juvenile case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Easy. We throwing rocks and throwing
You
rocks.
on probation.
We're on probation and everything early like that, you know what I'm saying? But like that's all a part of the community, like we saying. The police, even the ones who do the beat, who ride around, they know the kid, like he said. They see a kid, they know that kid, they ain't gonna shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I know these folks, everybody say to be backlash about the kid should have did this and that, like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, nobody deserves to die.
No,
Nah,
because you got your whole life to live. You don't know, like at 14, you don't know who you're gonna be at 40.
That's
No,
true.
man.
That's true.
You just don't know. You stunted that kid life
Yep.
before he got a chance to understand it. Because we males running our life.
Mm-hmm.
We already fighting the odds.
Mm-hmm.
So statistics already is on us before we get to that point. So it take us longer to, figure it out. Most of my friends, we ain't have no daddies.
Right.
And when we got old enough, we had to be the men of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So we was responsible young trying to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which when you look back, that's wrong. Why
that's
put
true.
that much pressure on the kid?
Right,
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so,
They say, you said you the man of the house now.
yeah, we having to, keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on.
Get the shoes for the shoes, clothes,
Right.
That is
gas money,
Right.
food.
That's wild to put that on prey. And then that push a kid to do other things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That push him to do other stuff, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah, you get
Like, you know
blind.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get blind to money.
Right, that's crazy.
Yeah, you get blind.
Yeah.
What is it that you do at Grandma's house? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I know I don't know exactly all
The
programs.
details of
details of
we starting this. We're gonna start with mentoring.
Okay.
So we're gonna roll out with mentoring youth.
Mm-hmm.
The first rollout is we're gonna mentor on Tuesdays. We're gonna do youth males from 10 to 20, bringing the motivation speaking in, hospital psychiatrists.
Well,
On
definitely
Wednesdays, we're gonna speak to both genders, men and women. From 10, I want to start young to that mid-age adult to 20s.
Okay.
And on Thursdays, we're gonna do girls from 10 to 20. We want to kind of keep it separate, build relationships, And Saturday we're gonna bring faith based. We're gonna do Bible studies on Saturdays from 6 to 8. And we're gonna put the faith base at the end. We're gonna roll out that way right now, just trying to work on building relationships, getting comfortable, and working with the mental health to start. And we got a computer. We're gonna have a computer room. So the computer room gonna be open 5 days a week. You know what I mean, from 11 to 7 to come in, you know, do programming, learn to do resumes, you know, just basic, learn to use a computer, facts and copies. So that's how we gonna roll out.
Right.
You know, we was gonna do it differently, but we realized we had to go to the core. You know, we got to get to the basic. We got to build it. We got to build the relationships. We got to put trust in people to trust us. You know, because you know what? It's like feeding an animal. After you feed him enough, he'll trust you.
Right.
You know, if you go feed him 1 or 2 times, he's not gonna trust you enough. You know, we got to be a trust in the community again. That's the problem. We don't have no trust. You know, because ain't nobody there putting enough consistency in to trust is relationships.
Right.
We got to build relationships up. So if we're gonna do it, then we're gonna take them on programs. We're gonna do programs. But that's our rollout program. From there, we open to other opinions. But I think that's more important. You know, mentoring the youth, 10 to 20, 24. And we want that single gender. Wednesday, we're going to bring it together. And Thursday, we're going to do the girls, the females.
I was just going to ask you, was it just boys or you going to do
no,
girls
we're gonna do the boys Tuesday, both genders Wednesday, and we're going to do females Thursday. And we're going to, you know what I mean?
Are y'all going to break them up by age or just going to let them all be in one room?
As we build it, we'll break them by age.
Okay.
We're going to start building it together, and then we're going to break it off into ages. But we just got to be visible.
Okay.
We got to, you know, it's like an onion. With black people that's going through things, you can't peel them all at one time.
No, you can't.
You got to cut that thing one layer at a time. If you want better results. You know, if you open it all up, you're going to be like, oh, I can't take this. You know what I mean? Because they're going to come in disrespectful. And it's going to be a safe haven. You know, if you want to come in, if you're hungry, you know, we have donations. If you're hungry, you can come in and eat. If you want to just get away, you know, we got a lounge room. Kids can come in there and do work. Quiet place to do work. You know, watch TV. Get out their environment they're going through. And, you know, we're going to have food there to feed them. And through donations, we want to do clothes, shoes, you know, for kids that don't have.
Right.
You know, and then even for parents that's going through bill shortage. You know, who can't pay a light bill. You know what I mean? And the simple things. Ain't got gas to get to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or your kid getting ready for prom or graduation and you just don't have the funds. You know, that's what Grandmama House about us. And we trying to do some things with the seniors. We pushing to get the seniors. We're gonna do senior games there too. We're gonna do like bingo and just. So I've been in touch with a center, and she's gonna try to get the seniors who able to get out. That can leave their facility just to get them out, you know what I mean, to feel relevant, you know, to feel like they're not left alone. You know, to get out to do
That's what's up right there.
You know, we're gonna do games like I say, bingo and just fellowshipping and just laughing and shooting the bobo and you know what I mean. And,
I do that 60 years.
Yeah, so that's what
they wanted someone when we post the name, but it's a grandma house. It's on. It's not Simpson. What is that?
It's Joseph B. Boone now.
Joseph E. Boone. It's
formerly known as Simpson.
Always known as Simpson.
So, you know, the grandma house on Simpson. So it's in the Collier Heights Plaza.
Yeah, 2097 Unit B.
Yeah, 2097 Unit B. Somebody asked me where it's gonna be at.
Yeah,
and I mean, because that's something I wanted to do as far as like in Adderville as myself. I wanted to have the center, but I'm really gonna come over there, you know, and kick it with you and blend in with you, man. See what's going on.
All the support and all the influence because these are our kids. You know what I mean? I look at us when I'm on that side of town. It's like that's the only place I feel like I'm the most confident place in America. I can have $2 million worth of jewelry and $2 million in cash. And I don't have a gun, and I just feel so comfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't, you know what I mean? Because we home.
Right.
You know, I feel safe and we home. We got to get back to that.
Yeah,
you know, and we need to be resourceful.
You got to be resourceful.
We got to be resourceful.
Hey man, look I appreciate y'all coming riding this long ride out here to come out and
know,
get with me,
right?
man. You know what I'm saying?
United States.
You know what I'm saying? The other side of the world.
It's
You
the
know what I'm saying?
west,
To
it's the
come
west side.
to the west
No, this
side.
ain't no west side. Hey, this is a true story before we leave. When we were young, when me and Hulu lived in the street, my grandma used to always tell me, Eric, you better not never go out to Douglasville.
Right.
You
But
know,
one thing about
I had a
Douglasville-
cousin got 1,000,000 years in Atlanta. I mean, in Douglasville.
But what?
And she
Hey,
used to always stress, you better not go to Douglasville for nothing.
You better not, because I'm telling you, you're gonna be still out here. But I know a few cats that did that. You know what I'm saying?
But
One
see,
cat, one cat I know used to come from Alabama to come this way, and instead of him coming this way, he wants to stop in Douglasville. He got stuck on Douglasville, but he's still in Douglasville.
But y'all,
And I know
black
that
male,
10,
black
15 years
sheriff,
ago.
everything out here as far as city government is black.
Right,
The mayor
right.
black,
It
black
ain't for
lady,
me.
black
I don't
sheriff.
care. I don't care if black was black. It ain't for me.
Right. Hey, man.
I think Donald Trump in Douglasville. It ain't for me.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, we gotta say happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there, man. You know what I'm saying? People got their mom and stuff like that. You still around me, you know. But I think them days like that hit different for me though. So I just going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know y'all grandma, your grandma still living, right? Yeah. But I know your name, but your mom still living, right? Yeah. So yeah, happy Mother's Day. Appreciate y'all coming out, man. Another Sunday. We finna wrap this thing up. We out of here, man.
Peace.
It's that dirty, dirty, old Atlanta, on the brains, Fulton County, dirty, dirty, Georgia peaches, Grady babies, but please believe me, from College Park, on Nasty, to the west side, down on Ashby. Dirty, dirty.
Yeah.
Old Atlanta. Old Atlanta. Old Atlanta.
I walk KK, I talk KK. I'm a